Hello world, it's Sammy. So yesterday I posted a Python pop quiz and then I got different different results, and I want to take my time to explain this little tricks and these little tips in Python, because it's actually going to help us master Python and just enable us learn a new thing. So the question I actually so I'm going to create a new file and then just call it let's just call it function. Oh no, let's just call it demo function. Yeah, they got a demo function. Then I'm going to create. And yes, I've decided to be switching between my terminal and VS Code. So that's part of the New Year resolution. All right. So the question I actually dropped was this. This particular question actually falls under function, and not just any function. That I said both positional arguments and keyword only arguments. So it's kind of an orthodox way, or not too common way, in which you could define your function. Now I will take my time to explain. Now this right here we definitely know is the name of the function. This right here is a positional argument, which is name. Now where the confusion starts coming from here, it's this asterisk, right? Now because this asterisk is added to our parameters, to our function, it kind of tells Python that, okay, any other parameter that is coming after this particular asterisk are now keyword only argument, that they must be called as keyword argument. This is not like the normal concept of quags. I'll repeat again. Now, because of this asterisk that is present in this particular function definition, it means now that age will have to be called as when we are calling this particular function, this age will have to be passed in directly, passing as a keyword argument. That means the value for it, we will have to send it as keyword argument to this particular display function. The same thing too with city, but because we've already specified city to be a default argument, so we necessarily do not need to provide a value for city, because we've said it should default to unknown. This is what I'm saying. Now, prior to this time, we do know that the way we could actually call our function, we know that, okay, for positional argument, I'm just going to call Sammy, say Sammy. Now, when we now want to call, you see, if I run this particular function, I'm going to be getting an error. You see, this is the error I'm getting. Okay, so I'll just clear my terminal and then go back to my file. Now, if you look at this, I can't call this function without calling this remaining argument. Now, because this city is already defaulting to none, I have to call in age. That is what this asterisk is doing actually. So what this asterisk is, how will I put it? It's kind of like it's now turning this function to be a positional argument. We do know that you can't call it when a function has a positional argument, you must call that function with its positional argument. However, that asterisk now kind of twists it, that okay, it means that this particular parameter that are now coming after it are only going to be accepting keyword argument, and they must be passed. So if I set in 2 and I remove this city, and I remove this default value of city, and I remove this default value of city, if I'm going to be calling in my age this function again and I rerun it again, you will see that before I was having just age recommended because city was already defaulting to unknown. Now that I have removed now that I have removed the default argument, you can see now I'm not having sitting. Now, what people might also think that, okay, I could do something like this, and then let's say age 101, and then city as a string, say Lagos. Now, this is what many people might think. But now let's run this. You can see I'm still getting the same error. Look at the error. Say this display info function takes one positional argument, but 3 were given. That means Python is looking at this as a positional argument, this as a positional argument. And when it is only recognizing that, okay, this is the only positional argument as this. Now, if I turn this to be now age, then come here to be unknown, or sorry, come here to be the city. Now, if I'm not going to clear my terminal, if I'm not going to run this particular file, oh, sorry, I didn't put in the equal to there. So if I'm not going to run this particular file, you see I'm getting the needed value I. This is the results. This is the result. I'm not getting the expected results. Now, if I also decide to remove this, which is also possible, it means that all the same thing still applies. It means that all the let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, I think this is much better. Then place this at the middle. I think this is much better. Yes, that we can actually see. Yes. Okay. Now, because this is here, because this asterisk is now converting this to be accepting keyword arguments, and it is in compulsory that we pass it to. It is different from the concept of quags. Now, in quags, I'm busy talking about this. Now, in quags, we are specifying that this is compulsory, which is the name. However, these remaining ones here are keyword argument, and it can be any number. They are different. In this example, though we are accepting keyword argument, but then we are only accepting 2 keyword arguments. But here we are accepting a number of keyword arguments, and it is not compulsory we pass to it. We pass keyword arguments. We can only just pass in a name. We can only just pass in a name, and then we run our function, and it's still going to run when we are using this. But when we are using this, it is very, very important that we not just passing the name, but also passing the value attached to it as keyword argument to our function, and the number is same. That means if you are having 2 here, you're also going to be having 2. I hope we get the gist. So that is just a quick explanation on this particular pop quiz. If you want to get more pop quiz, kindly send me a mail or drop a comment, and then I'll try as much as possible to always bring out more pop quiz, so that we could actually learn some Python tips. And yes, also I'll also be creating more videos on tips and tricks in which we could actually use in Python to kind of speed up our development process. All right, do have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.